Hey, welcome back to Get Down to Business. True innovation requires breaking through existing barriers and pioneering entirely new frontiers. And leadership as an engineering transitioning away from legacy systems demands incredible grit, unyielding discipline, and the willingness to take calculated risks to prove what is possible. My guest today is a visionary operator leading a massive global shift in sustainable transportation on the water. I'm joined by Alex Mongeon, who is the CEO and co-founder of Vision Marine Technologies. Alex is at the absolute forefront of maritime electrification, designing and building high-performance electric powertrain systems to replace traditional combustion engines. He represents the peak of hard tech, delivering real, tangible engineering solutions for the future. He also happens to hold the world record for the fastest electric speedboat, clocking in at the staggering 116 miles per hour. Oh my goodness. Alex, welcome to Get Down to Business.
Thank you for having me today.
I am very excited. Building hard tech, tangible, complex, physical engineering, it's incredibly difficult compared to building a software app. You're trying to displace traditional internal combustion engines that have dominated the maritime industry for over a century. How do you, as a leader, maintain your team's focus and morale when dealing with the heavy friction of transforming an entire physical infrastructure?
We're surrounded by passionate people, and we are actually building a team around the nautical environment. So the people that are on board are probably more passionate than I am, so we can move very quickly, 20 hours a day for the past, I would say, 12, 13 years.
That's powerful. That's important. And that really, I think about this a lot. Having served in the military, we talk often about changing the culture, that's much harder than changing the equipment. When you speak with traditional boat builders and consumers, what's the biggest mental barrier they have about switching to electric powertrains, and how do you overcome it?
It's about range. They all come with the first question is range, and those questions are not being asked when it's time to buy a gas engine boat. So the only way of showing them that it does not interfere with the boating experience is to put them on one of our boats. So we have a bunch of mules or test boat they can try, and the next step is actually asking them to provide a complete boat that we will install our technology on, and they can notify or evaluate by themselves their own product with our system on, and this is usually 99% of the time a slam dunk with that.
Alex, I've been waiting to ask you this question for weeks now since we got in touch. You personally hold the world record for the fastest electric speedboat at 116 miles per hour. In fact, it's prominently in your LinkedIn headline, which I found super duper cool. Pushing a vessel to those speeds require immense calculation and composure. What did breaking that record teach you about personal discipline, managing fear, and trusting the engineering of your team under high stakes pressure?
I would correct one thing. I did build the boat with my team. I couldn't drive that boat because, for liability purposes, I'm a CEO of a Nasdaq listed company. So I did partner with Sean Torrente. He was a professional racer and he holds 13 world champion. But I used to run boats over 150 miles per hour. So I've tested the boat, but I didn't race the boat. So Sean Torrente did it for us, for the team, and he's part of our, I would say, our test team. So, but the boat is actually like a rocket on the water, and it's made, that record was on a 3/4 mile race. So you could imagine how fast the boat is on the water.
That's amazing. And by the way, my respect for you has just grown even more in just the way you again gave credit, and that's huge. And you know you're where you need to be. You know your strengths, but you also know how to bring in talent as well. And transitioning a company from a disruptive startup to a globally scaled manufacturer, it requires a completely different style of leadership. How is your personal style of leadership evolved as Vision Marine has transitioned from a proof of concept builder to a stock exchange listed industry leader?
Surrounding myself with knowledgeable people and people who are actually focusing on the same goals. So the spirit and the culture of the company is one of the most important thing, and we are actually working on result and salvaging situations. So we have multiple challenges. We never have problems. So this is how we have to work on a daily basis for the past 15 years now.
That's incredible. And when you look at the future of maritime transportation, do you see electrification eventually moving beyond recreational speedboats and commercial ferries into heavy duty global shipping and naval defense vessels? Or is there a fundamental physical limit to battery density that keeps electric power closer to shore?
There's a shift as we speak. So I would say a year ago, if you had asked that question, I would say the regular boating space would be ahead of the game. And now things have changed since, I would say, 6, 7 months. There's so many other large company looking into pushing tugs and ferries and bigger boats, and there is a bigger market as we speak and demand on that end. Even if we are increasing in numbers of boats produced and the engines sold, there's a big push and demand on military and autonomous boat, and you'll see more and more of those upcoming in the upcoming weeks and months. We see also IPOs and companies who are actually doing reverse takeover coming from that space.
Mm. And your world record that we talked about a moment ago, 116 miles per hour on the water, that's again an elite feat of human to go to your partner in crime in this, but also mechanical performance. And so, from a pure engineering and data standpoint, what's the next major barrier you're trying to break? And do you already have your sights set on a new milestone that will prove electric power can outperform internal combustion in every single metric?
We're working now on focusing more on the range. So the next step is actually having would say, a hybrid system that could actually give you more range than your regular fuel tank. We have been working on different prototypes, and this is where the future is going. So there's a plan B or backup because each boat has a small generator. Each boat of 28 to 30 feet has a small generator, and we can utilize that to generate a backup plan or a small alternative to extend the range. So this is where we are, and it's happening now. My electric cars have more range than the same model that I used to purchase with a gas engine in it. So it's arriving. It's not the future. It's today.
It's here. Steering a public company, Alex, on the cutting edge of green technology comes with intense market scrutiny and professional pressure. Where do you personally draw the internal resilience and mental clarity required to stay grounded and continue your focus with purpose?
Uh, I would feel I could say that's fuel for me. I'm waking up around 3 o'clock in the morning and go to bed around 11 at night, and no alarm clock, and that's what keeps me motivated. It's as we speak, we are the underdog, and things are slowly changing. The result speaks by themselves. So with the 25 different types of integration with huge boat manufacturers, is something that was important for us. But now the market needs to understand, and I probably had failed on that part by exposing all the hard work and the result we did. And for the past 3 to 4 months, I've been actually more active, exposing the news and exposing the success we had over the past 5 years. I was more focusing on the technology and the result than I was focusing on the market. And I'm back on that thing now. That's why we're having one of the, I'm on that podcast as we speak with you.
Yeah, telling the story, and I'm glad you are because it is an inspirational one. And again, as we said earlier, there's different phases, and something I said this earlier in the show. My dad used to always call it widgets. That it doesn't really matter what industry you're in. There's some lessons that are relevant, and really regardless. And for business leaders and entrepreneurs that are listening to this conversation who are trying to disrupt their own industries or pioneer something completely new. What's one tactical lesson that you've learned that you're willing to share about staying the course when everyone else tells you that your vision is impossible and you should give up?
Actually, that's also fuel. So this is what pushed my team and myself actually in getting on the other side of the line by providing a result. So it's sadly, I cannot listen. I have a vision and I see it, and I can tell you that in 5 to 6 years, you're going to get at least 2 or 3% of each boat in the marinas would have an electric outboard. Maybe not all mine, but big manufacturers from the world would will start moving around with that. So Mercury or Honda or Yamaha will start actually providing same type of motors to the market. So I don't stop from having a no or I'm a dreamer. I'm not a dreamer. We are providing results, so we are delivering results. So anyone that wants to see trial it, come see trial a product, we can put them on a boat and show them that it does work. It's simple, it's easy to use, and it just makes sense.
Alex, this is powerful stuff. I'm deeply inspired by your story. I know our listeners will be as well. How can we learn more about your company and continue to follow your progress and your work?
Online, you can visit us at Vision Marine Technologies. You also can come and look at our dealerships network we have in Florida. And we also have rentals operation that you can come and try boats on the water with your families and friends in California. We have 2 locations. So you can come, test, shop, and you can also learn from our website. So these are the places that you can come and meet us. And also on your YouTube channel,